All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Run. My friend Darksider's back. Haven't seen you around in a while. Hope you're doing good. And yeah, that paycheck strategy. Well, actually, you're wrong. The strategy didn't suck. I sucked today. That was awful rolling. 4 out of 5 shooters PSO, like literal PSOs today. Terrible shooting. That strategy that we're playing is basically it's a YOLO, right? So what you're praying for with that kind of a strategy is that you dodge the 16% chance of losing. That's it. You're working to come out, and you got your one shot at it, and you're praying, hoping against hope that you can get a little better than 1 out of 6 on those come out sevens. That's it. 1 out of 6. I'll show you where we are. Actually, let's run into it really quick. I'm going to show you exactly where that thing is because it's interesting. We're still doing okay. Let me jump ahead though. Hold on one second. Let me go. Where's the thing? We're here. We are 9-4, right? So we're at 69% win rate. You expect to be at a 66.7% win rate, right? Taking the 16% losses, right? Because you're basically a one roll thing. So we're above, actually, still above expectation on that. So we're doing all right in terms of that, but you're hoping with this one here to be a good enough shooter or lucky enough person to dodge that an extra couple of times, right? Get it to 75 or 80%, then you're winning consistently. When that was 9-3, our profits were an extra $1,200, right? So you lose this thing, it's a big pop, which really kind of sucks. And again, I was talking about it on the other show this morning. Should we just go full YOLO with it? Like we had the same conversation last month when we go with the other strategy, which is why are we buying in for $3,000 if we're not going to use it? And I want you to all chew on this a little bit while we're talking here, because I'll get back to regular announcements here in a minute. But if you're going to buy in for $3K, and it's basically if you throw a PSO, you're walking away anyway. You're only putting $1,200 at risk. Why are we buying in for $3,000? Like that's the question, right? Why buy in for $3K if you're only going to risk $1,200? This is that whole stop loss zero mentality, right? That we keep talking about. You might as well buy in for $1,500, put the $1,200 out there. Either you win $500 or you lose the $1,200. You go back out with $300, go like 320 across or whatever, and give it one little shot to have a decent run there and then be done with it, right? Where it is stop loss zero at $1,500, making $500, right? That might be the better way to do it. Just have the bankroll be appropriate to what we're doing, or jack it up and go $2,400, right? And either you're going to win $1,000 or $1,200, or you're going to lose $2,400. Like that, maybe that's the way to do it, right? Maybe just if it's going to be a YOLO, make it a YOLO and just kind of whatever, right? We have to think about what we're going to do here. And again, I'll leave it in chat. And why don't you put your chats? Do me a favor in your chat. I'm going to give you an example. Put this in your chat. Go DD:2400 or DD:1500. And tell me what you think I should do. Should I go $2,400 one roll like we're doing now and just go draw down from $2,400, or go out there at $1,200 and then $300 and then walk away, right? That's what I'm doing anyway. That's what I've been doing this whole month is the $1,500 way. Maybe we should just call it that and just do it. Give me your votes. Give me your thoughts on what you think we ought to do there with the Dallas Drawdown. But right now, here's our profit. We're at 9-4. We're at 69%. We're at $2,600 in profit. Still doing okay. I can withstand actually a couple more losses here and still be fine. I'd like to get this thing back up to 12-4. If we can do it, that would make us at the right win rate, 80%, and we should be in okay shape if I can pull that off. Maybe tomorrow's a better day. And by the way, I think I might have mentioned this. Let me go back a screen here. I might have mentioned this already, but we're going to be out on Thursday. I'm helping my son move Thursday, so no shows at all Thursday. I may end up doing 2 daily paychecks on Wednesday or 2 on Friday. Just do it and then do it again. Maybe we'll make that call tomorrow, most likely. We'll see how tomorrow goes for me. There's that. So what else happening? Trip around the table. Again, I've got a lot of people coming on the show that we're just trying to work dates out with. I got Jeremy and David and Jacob and Ryan from Mark the Point. Jen and Ian have agreed to do it too. I think Kevin Smith has agreed to do it. I got to get Jeff on there too. So let's if you want to do it, obviously let me know. You don't need to be a YouTuber. Just be a person who likes craps and come on with me. But this week it's going to be Wednesday, so I got to find somebody who can do it with me on Wednesday. And that's how we're going to do it. Some of the comments coming in here, Cajun Crab says, if I actually filter by the DDs, this is kind of funny. DD, I've got DD 2,400. That's me. Peter says go $2,400. Biff says go 1,500. Albert says go 1,500. Mark the Point says do it twice at 1,500. Yikes. Cajun Craps, just don't do it at all. JR, go 6,400. Let me go big or go home, Gary. So the votes are coming in at 1,500. Skill says live and die by the dice. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. And honestly, if you look at where we are, right, and I'll do a quick little run here, but we know it's going to be about double, right? We know that at $1,200, the average win on that thing comes out to be about $500-600. If I do it at $2,400, the average win is going to be about 1,000, right? So if you go 4-1, right, the 4 wins will be $4,000. The 4 losses will be $8,000. That's how it's going to end up being. You're going to be a little bit upside down there because of the size of the bets. So we have to decide. I'll do some math on it. Well, maybe we'll think about it here later on. I might even do a little test run here on the table before we start our real lecture today. So anyway, that's all that. Let's jump ahead. We blew it today, but we blew it today. And then I want to mention the March Madness tournament. Chris dropped the Big AZ video this morning. I think mine's coming up soon. I already did the match. Watch the video. It is insane. Chris has a crazy rule in there that makes the bets go woohoo and all of us go nuts. So it's actually pretty fun to play. I don't know if I love it because it takes you out of like regular craps, but it's a tournament. And so he's stretching our brains a little bit to think outside the box. And I guess that's probably a good thing in the end. So check out the Dice D10 March Madness channel. Also check out, I think by Friday I will have, cross your fingers. I'm working with Crystal to get Layla's scholarship fund piped into a donation account for us. I'm working hard at that. I can't do the Yo thing until that happens. So I'll let you know. The minute I know from them what happens, I will let you know on that. And yeah, there we go. Let's get out there and play some craps here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about right side play. I've been saying this now for a couple of weeks that right side craps is overcomplicated. There's all these millions of strategies out there, right? They're all the same. Every strategy, quote unquote, is the same thing. Now, again, I'm talking about only right side, pure right side play. Everybody who plays the right side is trying to get to a base level. Whatever the base is, 64 across, 96 across, 36, 6 and 8, whatever you're doing, it's your base. And from that point on, collect and press on some rhythm. That's the only thing that we ever do in craps. How you do that and how you stitch those things together is kind of up to you. And it looks like this. You begin to make a scrap strategy, and you can really, again, apply this to other games too, but basically you're going to pick some basic play that's going to last a couple of 2-3 rolls, whatever it's going to be, or 2-3 spins on a roulette wheel, or 2-3 hits on a baccarat table. In our case, you can play the Molly on craps. You can do a regression, like a bigger bet, take one hit, come all the way back down. Like a $100 bet on a roulette table, let's say on black, win the $100, come down to a quarter, and then start pressing from there, right? You can start low, $25 bet, press it to $50, get the $50 win, come back down to 25, right? So start low, go high, come back down. No matter what of those things you do, or just start at your base, just start at a quarter or whatever your bet's going to be, just go from there. Whatever you're going to do, you're going to find a way to get to your base level bets. That's your first play. Your second play is going to be to pick some rhythm of collection, right? Either you're just going to same bet and rack money every single time. You're going to do some kind of a single unit pressing like we did yesterday, maybe a half a unit pressing like we did yesterday. Today, we're going to show you how to do flips. Super easy to play the flips. We'll look at sister pressing. We'll look at these other ways of playing, but ultimately you stitch it together. I'm going to start at base, start high, start mid, come down to base. Then I'm going to say, I'm going to collect this way. That's it. That's all of craps. Okay. You can start with 2 numbers and spread out. You can start on roulette with just the black, get a black hit, go 2 dozens. You can do all sorts of things at your base level, right? That's up to you. When you're all done, give it a fancy name, put a YouTube video out, and Bob's your uncle. That's how you make a crap strategy. It's really two things. Get into base. How am I going to collect? That's all of it. Yesterday, we talked about unit pressing. And again, this is coming from the side of once you're at your base, what are we going to do? Yesterday, I talked about up and pull. Simple up and pull. Like I got a $10 bet on a 5 or a 9. It pays 14 bucks. I go up by a nickel. I put $9 in the rack. I got 15 bucks on the bet. It pays 20, right? I have 15 on it. I go to 20 with the bet and I bring back the 15 bucks to the rack. And every time I go up 5 bucks, right? If that's your unit could be $10. Your unit could be a quarter, but single unit or a double unit bet, some people just press the change. Either way, I like that because you're always collecting. You're always collecting. You are still putting some of your profit back in play, which increases the power of your bets with their money, not yours, which is awesome. And I say their money, it is your money. You win 35 bucks, you put 10 bucks back out there. Yes, that 10 bucks came from the casino. It's still your money, but it's money that's no risk to you. It's risk-free profit play. That's a great pro when you're doing unit pressing. The con to that is your ceiling is super low. When you're going up $5 at a time, right? Your compounded wins aren't that big. You're collecting more than most people do on the early rolls. In the later rolls, let's say a number hits 4 or 5 times, your bet's very small relative to somebody who's more aggressive in the press. However, most of the time, you're not going to get 4 or 5 hits on the number. Most time, you're going to get 1 or 2, which means the person doing a small unit press is probably going to end up ahead most of the time in regular average expected plays. Now, today, I want to talk about flipping. And I love the flipping strategy. Again, it's a lot like unit pressing where you're always collecting, you're using your profits for power. It's easy, really easy for you and the dealers. Like it's a no-brainer to deal this thing. Again, the con, it's a slow build, so your ceiling is low, okay? But what you do is simply this. You're gonna take the win on the number and make that the bet and take your bet down. You're just gonna flip, flip, flip each time. Now the 4 and 10 have a special case here because they're 2 to 1. You're gonna love how the 4 and 10 get flipped this way. Now this is not the quote unquote 4-10 flip that other folks have created. Again, another way to press and collect. That I'll cover that 4-10, the hardcore 4-10 flip in a later show when we talk about more aggressive pressing techniques. That's more of a press collect versus just a rolling press. So there's that. Let's run over to the table and I want to run some flipping with you and show you how this works. I'll set up a decent sized bet and we're just going to flip it as we go. Watch how the dealing happens. It's so freaking quick. And it does actually produce pretty good numbers. So let's head back to my table. Let me go switch the screen here, put the light on, and hey, here we go. Let me bring my coffee back over there. I'm going to actually close that down. I'm going to put PCs in the chat so I can see if you're going to talk to me directly. Give me a PC in front of it if you would. Here we go. I'm going to set up. I'm going to grab a point. We have the red dice here. Let's grab a point really quick. And we have, well, that's a 7. Cool. The red dice are coming out. These are my Bally's reds today. It's a 5 right there. So let's assume we've done something, okay? And we got to a base. I'm going to go out here at 160 across because it's easy to see the numbers, but I'll do it again at 64 so you can get a chance to see what that looks like too. But here's 160 across, okay? We're just going to flip the numbers as they roll. Watch, again, how simple this is. I'll put my rack up here. And again, we're at 160 across. Nothing comes out of your rack ever once you're here. And again, we're assuming that you've done something where you've got your 160 back in the rack. I'm going to make that assumption that you did something in your earlier stage, right, to get to base, whether it was a regression or something else. So we're playing this 160 risk-free right now. Let's make that assumption. Here we go. If we lose it, we don't care. There's a 5, 2, 7, and we lost it. We don't care. Okay, puck is off. Let's come back out. There's a 6. And again, for the sake of argument, let's assume you've done your work. You got to 160 across. You're playing risk-free. I want to just show you the flipping rhythm of these numbers. There's a 6, 5, 1. So this pays 35 bucks, 25, 35 bucks. And what you're going to do, you will have to drop money. I lied. There's some ones. We're going to drop a buck, take this back, replace the bet with the win. It goes to $36. Okay, now again, the 6 and 8 are gonna take a little while to build up. It's gonna feel like a single unit press for a hot minute. Trust me, it'll be okay. Coming back out, there's a 10. 4s and 10s are where this thing shines. All right, there's a 9, 6, 3, 9. Check it out. Just gonna say, flip it or replace it or whatever. It pays 35 bucks. You're just gonna say, flip it or replace it. When I say flip it, my casino knows what I'm talking about. Boom, they just replace the bet. The win becomes the bet, and the bet comes back to the rack. So in a couple of hits, you've got $55 in the rack off of your 160. There's another 7, so that blows. But we took the 160 that we were playing with for free. Again, this is risk-free money we're talking about here, and brought $55 back. Now, again, you can always say 160 would have been more profit than the 55. But again, we're trying to catch the hot roll. If you're playing this style of craps, you're trying to set yourself up with opportunity to catch a hot roll. So you got to be okay with burning what's out here from your profit stack. In that case, here we go, 160, point is 6. Again, we're assuming we're playing this. We've done something to get ourselves to this base, and now we're playing it out. Another 7. Boy, the 7s today are hot and bothered whatever, man. There's another one. The garage this morning, I threw 4 straight PSOs. Here, I've thrown like 11 7s in 5 rolls. It's been, look at another one. Oh my gravy. Bye-bye, red dice. Green dice coming out. Oh my God, that was awful. Hard 6. Sometimes you gotta just throw those things in the trash can, right? There we go. On the 6, again, 160 playing for free. All those 7s, by the way, don't matter. If you're doing it this way, again, you're making the assumption that you've already gotten your money. This is your bonus play, right? So these 7s suck, but they aren't the worst thing in the world, right? It's not like we're losing 160. We're just not getting our opportunity. Okay, the 10, it's gonna pay 50 for 1. And the flip is this, it goes like that. You take your quarter back to your rack. And now your 10's at 50 bucks, which is kind of cool, right? If you get some more 10s, here's another one, 5, 5, 10. That's great. 50 pays 100. And again, flip it. Just bring the bet back to your rack and put your win up there on as the replacement for it. There's a yo 6-5 Chiro. There's a 4. Let's flip that 4. Same thing. It's going to pay 50. Take the bet, place it with the wins. $1 for the VIG. Another 4. Look at the 4 and 10 now coming back to fight, right? That pays 100 bucks. Again, $2 in VIG. Flip it, just replace it. And that comes back in. 6-5 yo again. How about more 4s and 10s? More 4s and 10s. Can we do it? There's an 8. All right, 6, 2, 8. That's okay. That'll pay 35 bucks. And again, we're going to take the bet, place the win. I'll have to get some singles. Put the reds there and the whites over here. Okay. We got a 6. That's the point. And again, I'll drop a buck. There's 35, 36. Place the win. Take the bet. Just flip it. Puck is off coming out. It goes to the 8. Let's go. Another 4 or 10, huh? Hard 8. Okay, well, that's the point. 36 on it, though. That'll pay 40. 42. And again, take the bet. Place the win. And so far, so good. Puck is off again. New point's going to be 6. Aces, don't matter. Good little run here, huh? 6-5 yo again. Is that our 3rd yo in this series? I think it might be. 8. All right. Love it. 42 pays 50 for 1. Okay. Now, what I'm not, I would normally do that, right? But here, we know that 42 pays 49. So 45, 49 bucks. And again, just replace it. Okay, take that back. The 6 and 8 are slow movers. It's basically a single unit press on those guys. If you wanted to, obviously, bump them higher. But again, following the flip pattern, that's how you do it. 7. Good chances here in the 4 and 10. Didn't quite get that nice fatty on the outside like we'd like to, but how did we do there? We went 160 across. I'll set it back up again. What, 4 times? 3 times we 7'd out and got nothing out of it. I guess we got a quarter the one time, right? The last time we did okay. And again, just a simple flip, right? The one time that it was okay, 1, 2, 3, 25, 335, okay? And again, if you can get yourself to a base of 160 or whatever it is, that little flip play, it's easy. Like there's nothing to think about, right? I love pressing strategies where I don't got to think, right? And this is a good passive, whatever you want to call it, conservative kind of play. Let me set it one more time. I'll do it at a lower level. And again, with the 6 and 8, you may want to be a little bit more aggressive, but here we go. Again, we're going to assume that we've got these bets are out here and we had paid for them some other way, right? We did our regression or whatever else, 64 across, risk-free, and we catch a 5, 3, 8. It's going to pay $14. Now, here's a case where you really can't replace it because you need $18 to make the next bet. So we're going to go ahead and make the 6 and 8 at this level. Just make it look like 18. And again, you got the power press a little bit to make these bets right early. 7, brick. All right. Bummer. Okay, puck is off. We're coming out. That shooter, we made $5. 8 again. Little flippy. There's a 9, 5, 4, 9. That pays $14. We'll do 15 for 1 and replace it. Aces. I think I didn't do the screen switch for the vertical feed, so I apologize to you vertical watchers. I'll delete the video later. There's a free one 4. Sweet. So the 4 is going to pay 10 pays 18. So what I would do is one of two things: either drop $2 to make the flip, or just tell her make it look like 20, which is the same thing. Replacing 18. Just take the $8 back. It's easier in the early rounds to do that. There's a 10, 6, 4, 10, so the same thing. That'll pay $18. We'll actually do 20. I'll do 20 for 2 to get rid of some of the whites and do the exchange. There's an 8. All right, that pays $14. And again, we'll take and make it look like $18. We'll just go up to there. Next time, the flip is a little more natural. There's a 7. Doesn't matter. We're not going to get there anyway. But playing 64 across twice that time, or I guess that twice, 3 times we did it. 3 times we did it, 64 across. Again, playing, assuming for free. 5, 10. There's 25, there's 45, $47, right? So again, you're not making a pile of money, but notice how in the flip, or if you were doing something like a single unit press or a half press, you're collecting every time. All these rolls, except for the 1, were really short. Not a lot of repeaters. So the fact that you're always bringing money back versus always hammer pressing these things means in these shorter length rolls, you're always going to be putting money here and you're getting something out of it. You cannot judge these ways of pressing, any way of pressing, by saying, well, you had 64, you only brought back 23. The point was you're playing 64 that was risk-free money, and you're doing it for opportunity. Sometimes opportunity pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it pays off in small ways, and that's got to be okay. You're looking for 64 across for free 35 times a day, and maybe one of those times you make a couple $100. That's literally how the right side players play it out. Okay. I'm going to stop right here and let's do a quick little test run of the drawdown at the big level. Okay, so if we go 2,400 across, that's going to look like this. It's going to look like that. It's going to be 2,200 inside instead of 1,100 inside, and it'll be 150 2,200. We're going to go, no, 200 bucks on the 4 and 10. Okay. There's your 2,400 bucks. No, I'm sorry, 100 bucks on the 4 and 10. My bad. 22 inside, 100 bucks on the outside. And again, the 4 and 10 at this level, they got to be sister pressed, right? Unless I'm going to go make them look like 250 or 300 each. If I do a 300 each on the 4 and 10, they would then also be, everything here pays about the same, roughly. Now it's 22, 25, 2,800. Okay, let's leave it here. Let's do a sample. Puck is off. Let's play it out. Let's just see if we can't get out of here. There's a 314. Come out. Pays 200. Press them both. Sister press the 4 and 10. There's a 6. I just want to see what this thing does. 6 pays 700. Take half the bets down. And now we're going to go like before. We'll go 550 inside, or not 550. We'll go 1,100 inside. There's $1,100. So 1,100 inside looks like 2, 3, like so. We bring it back 1,500, 1,800. Okay, add a 2,400 to start with. We got another inside hit. We'll get a good look at what this Dallas drawdown feels like at the bigger levels. There's a 6 that pays 350. And we would draw everything down by half now. Take all of it down. Okay. Okay, there's 550 inside. I'll take the 4 and 10 all the way down to 50 bucks each. And let's make these look like color. 500, 500, 500. There's 2,500. Or I'm sorry, there's 3,000 bucks. So there's our 2,500 we started with. Okay, we got 500 in profit, and we have 650 out here. Take our third hit, whatever it is, we're done. There's a 10 that pays 100 bucks. And we bring it all back. Okay, there's $200 in green. There's 500. So that move, if it works at 2,400, it's 1,000, 1,250 bucks profit. So it's either lose 2,400 or win 1,200 bucks. That's what it's going to end up being, right? And again, we could use the $3,000 to do that and say, look, we're going to win 1,200 bucks 4 times. We're going to lose 2,400 bucks once. If it works out 4 to 1, which is the expected rate, we're going to be ahead of the game. So consider it. Just consider it. I don't know if we like that or not, but that's how it's going to look. That's how it's going to look if we do it at the bigger level. And again, it's relative to the size of the bets, right? All doesn't really matter. So let me run back to the other screen for us. We'll go here, take off them glasses, and head over to the questions screen here. And I got a couple things up on screen to talk to. So Cajun Crap says, pass over the Crystal and Layla next time I talk to her. I haven't talked to her. I've been texting, so I will pass that along. We still, huge place in our heart, right? I mean, that's just, you know, still such a tough loss, right? Skill Luck says, don't we need to find the best choppy strategy to start with, then regress, same bet, 2 rolls, then diversity, right? Yes. And like I said before, the initial play that you do, whatever the initial play is, I don't care what it is. And I can go back a couple screens here to kind of repeat this, which is this. Your basic play pattern is your first thing, right? On a choppy table, on a cold table, on a hot table, on whatever table you got, whatever that looks like for you, this first couple 2-3 rolls, whether it's a skill 66 where you start mid-range inside bets, press it up, come back down and spread out, whether it's a squeeze play, whether it's the headless horseman, don't pass bet, 3 comebacks, get some wins, take the wins and do something like we just did. Whatever it looks like for you to get to your base is up to you. And again, there's no magic formula here, right? The Horseman is great on a choppy table. It's fantastic on a choppy table. But it sucks when you have a hot shooter with the come out sevens, right? It sucks if you're going to get the mid-range 5-6 rollers because you don't make any money. So there's no way to predict. So you pick the way that you like to play, that you're comfortable with. If you like going out $2,400 across for 3 rolls and getting that $1,200 and then going $1,100 inside again, that's on you, right? Whatever that looks like. Then you go with whatever you want to afterwards, and you can diversify however you want to. Matter of fact, you can take these pressing patterns. Let's say that I pressed like I did that on that one good roller, right? We took the 160, made $300 out of it. You can take that and then regress it again. Pull that money back down again and regress one more time. You can repeat stage 1 and go back again with another run at stage 2. You can, get to base, press a bunch, make some money, regress to base, press a bunch, make some money, and rinse and repeat that. That's cool too. Again, your strategy is, what is your base and how do you get there? How do you press and collect? Maybe you rinse and repeat. Every four hits, keep doing the same thing, right? I've played the pineapple press where I've got my base, pineapple press 4 rolls, take the money shot, regress it down and do it again. Over and over again. That stuff works. But again, that's your way, how you feel about your money and how you interpret how you want to see the collections come in. So there we go. Skill Luck says, PC, I thought, let me actually go ahead here a little bit. You thought I proved the same bet was more profitable than any type of pressing in the beginning. That is true. And again, I'm not trying to give you right now the way to play, right? Certainly that is a option for you. And I think what Skill is talking about is this. Let me go back and I want to show this to you super quick just to give you the option so you can see it. I'm actually going to switch this screen to have the right table on it. Here's what he's talking about. And I think this is an important note to make. I'm going to go ahead again at 160 across. Again, it's just because the bets are easy to deal. We go 160 across. And again, we'll assume that we're playing for free. We got to base, right? There's our 6-4-10. Watch this difference, okay? 3-1-4. Your first time hitting a number, $50, just collect it. Same bet, the first one, then start your pressing pattern. There's a 4 again, right? That pays $50, and now you run your flip. Okay, you've locked up 3 units in profit there. Now, the downside to that is that flip play, here we're at 75 in the rack. If we had flipped the first 4, right, made it look like 50 and took that in the rack, the second 4 that pays $100, again, you flip it, same 75 in the rack, but your next win is going to be double sized, right? So same betting first, then starting a flip puts you a roll in arrears, 75 in the rack with 50 out here, versus 75 in the rack with 100 out here, okay? The power of that move early, right, is important. It's up to you to decide, do you want to same bet first? And again, 6 and 8, same thing, right? You can take $35 the first time, then the second time, take your $35 and do your flip, right? Where you've taken off that 6 and 8, a good $65 in the rack before you make the $35, well, $64 in the rack, before you make that next move. Same bet first, then start is a thing. That's going to be the subject of Friday's show, Skill. That's a good comment to bring up. Let me go back over to here again. The show I'm going to do later in the week, which will be solely based, let me put the other screen back to normal there, which will be solely based on this kind of collect, press, collect, or press, collect, or collect, press, collect. All these different rhythms that you have is what you're talking about. We're going to talk about those more advanced plays later in the week. That's definitely a thing that's on my radar, for sure. My SRR, so many rolls, should I be doing strategies as tailored that? Well, here's the thing. I will bet you. I'll bet you almost, I can't make a solid bet, but I'll bet you. Everybody, when they have 10,000 rolls all logged together, their SRRs are all going to be about 6. It doesn't matter. If you're even the best controlled shooters in the world, 10,000 rolls in, the law of big numbers catches you, right? Your SRR will be 6, 6.5, whatever. every strategy should be built around that. You're so right about this. Every strategy should be built around an SRR of 6, the average rolling of 8.5. You've got to build your strategies around that. If you don't build your strategies around the worst case scenario, or at least the expected case scenario, you'll have a problem. That's why I like 2 hits and down. It's hard to get 2 hits, even as a good shooter. It's hard to get 2 hits. You got to build your strategies around what's most likely to happen, which is garbage rolls. And that's just the way that it is. You have to think about that. And these YOLO strategies that I'm running right now, super volatile, very scary to play. In the case of we hit exactly what should happen in terms of losing it the right amount of times, the Dallas drawdown will still end up a little bit ahead. As long as you're making your bet smart, you'll end up being ahead in that thing. That's the way that it's worked out. So I like it for some reasons. I don't like it for other reasons. But yes, you're right. You got to make sure you're aware of what your SRR is. But again, I assume it's a 6. I assume it's 8.5. I assume it's going to be 2 hits only 30% of the time. That's what I'm ready for. So you got to be ready for that. Let's see. Darksider does not like, it's lazy across betting. It's also the best way to do it. And we've had this talk before. It's the best way to do it. And it doesn't actually matter. Like, it depends on what your goal is, I guess, right? But when I win craps this thing, and I've done it with your rolls, with my rolls, if you bet just the 6 and the 8, you're going to win half the amount of times, right? If you win 160 across, you're going to win 24 out of 36 versus winning 10 out of 36. You're going to lose or win exactly the right number of times, right? That doesn't change. You're going to still lose the 6 and 8 twice as often as you'll lose the 160 across. That's going to be the case because you're going to hit 4, 10, 7, 9, 9, 5, 7. You're going to not hit those enough times to make it all equalizes out in the wash. There's no disputing that. It's a matter of what is your plan. 160 across for 2 hits or 2 rolls, you're more likely to get out of the hand or get your profit or get your goal in 2 rolls than in 5 rolls. That's the reason why I go across. I want to be there for less time. I'll take the bigger risk to be there for less time. Call it lazy if you want to, but that's the way that I see it. I don't want to sit there and watch 30 and 30 burn 4 times in a row before I get one. I'd rather take a hit here, and pull it down. I oftentimes will take 2 hits and just pull my shit down, right? If you want to call it lazy, that's cool, but I think it's mathematically it's the exact same thing. I just prefer not to wait and watch bets die, which is the going out with just 2 numbers way of thinking. And I don't enjoy that. So again, up to you how you do it. Louis says, just thought with Dallas drawdown, so I'm working on the come out at this high level. What do you think about adding any crap? That's not a bad play, right? Again, at that amount of money out there, who cares? $25 is nothing, but it could get you juiced up, right? I don't mind doing the anti-craps bet actually. Maybe even just a horn, maybe just like a $40 horn makes sense for all the rolls that we're doing. I'm not opposed to that because at $1,200, what's $40? But if you hit a horn number, you didn't waste the roll. I like the idea. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll try that. Let's see. MSP Gaming says most of us play with other people, so SRR doesn't really matter. Yeah. You're replying back to Jalanpan, I'm assuming there. And yeah, your SRR, you got to tailor your play to like what's probably going to happen, and you're probably going to lose. Like that's what it comes down to, right? It's like get your shit off the table as fast as you can. That's why, like, I like the Dallas drawdown for that reason. It gets me off that table. It's done. It's either I'm winning or I'm losing, and I'm out of here. I'm not farting around with like 2 bets and maybe they win, and I spread them out, and 6 rolls later I got in a cross bet. I don't want to play that way. I want to just be goodbye. If I'm doing a paycheck, if I'm doing long-term play, I'm much more dark side. I'm much more don't pass in a couple of things that I'm kind of hedging and playing around and letting it go for a while and just kind of enjoying the game. Different goals, different times. I think you gotta play both ways and have strategies in your pocket that work for you, the way you want to play the game. And I think that's it. There is no magic bullet here. And I think being honest about the fact that there is no magic bullet, I wouldn't call anybody's play lazy. I wouldn't call anybody's play dumb. It's just play with the expectations. All right, there we go. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else to talk through? Wager or Waylon says Wager Me just posted a video on the 4 and 10 versus other bets. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the 4 and 10 bet. When the 4s and 10s are running, they're amazing. When they're not running, they are the worst. Obviously, right? They take a long time to go. If you look at my stats from all my 6,000 rolls, you'll find that I think it's like 57% of the time I get 0 4s and 10s. So over half the time you get none in a roll. But when they come, they do seem to come in those clusters like that, like we saw today. Make some good money with them. All right, let's get out of here. Mark the Point's got a new way to press the inside. Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Again, any way you got to press the inside just falls into that second category, right? Get to base, find a fun way to press. Give it a name. Bob's your uncle. I'm out. I got to get to work. It's 8:47. I got to get prepped up for school. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's a better day in the daily paycheck. Let's have a nice win tomorrow. And again, I may play twice tomorrow because I'm going to be gone Thursday. So tomorrow might be a double session. We'll see. Y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday and be safe and God bless all of you. And again, thanks for being here. Love y'all. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.